wanted to watch this video. I figured what I'm going to start doing, because I see a lot of streamers do it, so fuck it. I'm going to do it with you guys. I generally like to watch YouTube videos over TV or movies for that matter. So I figured if I found a video that I'd want to watch, I would watch it with you guys and we could discuss if you want. But this one is should Twitch streamers pay their moderators? It's a Mogul Mail, Ludwig. If you guys don't know who Ludwig is, I don't know, you probably are blind to what Twitch has been for the last few years, even though he's not on Twitch anymore, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. That being said, before we go any further, just to answer the general question, I think to a degree, yes. I think it shows, you know, that you value them for what they do. I've paid my mods for just about every year up until like this year because I don't have any mods. It's just me. But I think any of my previous mods would tell you that I have paid them at the end of the year. That's usually what I've done. Usually give them like $50 each for something that they want, because, you know, Twitch doesn't like make me bank, so I do what I can. So like I said, I wanted to watch this and see what his points were on this. It's kind of in the industry and he kind of gets it, but I think he has also, when he blew the fuck up for that subathon that lasted like forever, he paid his mods. He made millions of dollars, I believe, off that stream. All right, so let's get into this.
Should streamers pay their mods? It's a question that comes up every few months, and I figured I'd make a video about it. Where do you lean right now if you had to pick? Yes, no?
I've already said it.
I'll tell you.
I've already said it. He asked again. I'm just saying yes. I think there's a certain degree where there's some mods who don't deserve to get paid as much, but because I never set a standard and I didn't want anybody to feel favoritism, I paid them all the same. But I think going forward, if I were to ever have mods, I would probably try to find a way to balance how much, you know, who gets what, because there are mods that do far more than other mods. That I can fucking say that without a shadow of a doubt. Every mod performs differently. They have their own strengths and weaknesses, and some of them want to use them, some of them don't.
Probably the answer. It's 100% fuck no. Absolutely not. But for good reason. Because look at the highest earning streamers of all time. Number 1 made about 10 million over the course of 2 years. You go down to number 100, they make about 400K every year. If you go down to 1,000, they're making much less than like 60K a year, which isn't enough to also pay a dozen moderators, at least any meaningful income that doesn't hurt the bottom line.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that this should be a motherfucker's full-time job. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you ever in your fucking wildest dreams think, one day I'm gonna grow up and be a mod for XQC, if that is what your head is like focused on, being like a head mod of some big streamer, you got better. Just trust me, there's so much more you could do. Just be a streamer. Honestly, you have a higher chance making a living streaming than being a mod for your favorite streamer. That's how I look at it. But even then, that's a fucking strike of lightning, my friends. The thing is like, mods should be held to a higher standard than the average viewer, so they can't enjoy it to the same degree as like 3-year follower who tunes in like once every 3 months. You know what I mean? They have that sword. People look at them as an example of what should be seen in the community. And if a mod's acting up, dude, like, you gotta fucking shut that bitch down right there in front of your chat. It sucks, but like, that's just that's how it is.
A dozen moderators, at least any meaningful income that doesn't hurt the bottom line of someone who needs that money. The amount of people who could actually pay their mods in any, like, you know, substantial way is like 500, I think, maybe, if I'm being generous, maybe 1,000.
I think what he means by substantial is like a living wage, like something that you don't have to leave the house and go fucking scan produce at fucking Stop and Shop for 8 hours a day. You know what I mean? You literally live, breathe this motherfucker's content. Now, except if you are a moderator that is making fucking content. I would die for a moderator that would literally just like be involved in my chat. People know who they are. And also like maybe while they're there, they're clipping parts that they liked that the stream thought would be good content and turning it into a TikTok or something like that. That motherfucker, if I could, $500 easily. I would easily, like, if that was fucking, like, I was making decent money off that shit, dude, I would fucking pay that son of a bitch good. They're literally taking a lot of my fucking legwork out of the game. Yes, I pay them much better than the guy who times out the fucking bot telling you to use this follower boosting website. Again, just my anecdotal experience, but like, yeah, that's how I look at it.
500? I think, maybe, if I'm being generous, maybe 1,000. There are 1.15 million streamers every day. That's every day. And only on Twitch, not including YouTube or Meta, if there are real people streaming on that website. So yeah, 99.999% of people shouldn't pay their mods and can't. But let's talk about the 0.001%. It's kind of a fun thing to think about. Should those streamers pay their mods?
Probably, yeah.
If you don't know, moderators do a decent amount of work. The main job is making sure the chat is a safe place to be in and also a fun place, whether it's adding new emotes or just making sure that there's no shitheads in there, making people have a bad time. That's like the main role of a moderator. Then they do other things like changing titles, maybe some make thumbnails, maybe some upload videos, find videos to react to, find games to play. The list goes on and on and on. And although there's only about, a few hundred people who could pay all their mods, there's hundreds and hundreds of examples of streamers paying maybe 1 or 2 mods that are more like personal assistants who also started as moderators.
That's what I'm saying. When I go to a stream, I'm gonna ask you guys this question too. When you go to a stream and you see a sea of swords, how do you feel? Man, that's how you feel, Nala? If I see a sea of swords in the fucking chat, dude, I'm like, alright. I'm just expecting somebody to have an ego. One of those fucking swords needs to stand out, dude. That's generally what's gonna happen when I see that, dude. Like, if I stick around that chat for weeks, months, eventually one of those swords is gonna stick out. And it's less so as a mod. They're like, dude, they're just extra as fuck.
Maybe some upload videos, find videos to react to, find games to play.
That's what, yeah.
The list goes on and on and on.
That's really helpful shit that a mod can do. That is really helpful shit that a mod can do. There's tuning in and hanging out, and then there's like trying to be more involved in like helping progress, like what are we going to be doing tomorrow? And that's what I'm saying. The ones that like successfully do that and they're like advising correctly or like doing things like make the videos, make thumbnails. Dude, thumbnails are fucking awesome too. Like, yes, please. When they help you have less shit to do, that motherfucker deserves some of your fucking bag. 100%.
And although there's only about, a few hundred people who could pay all their mods, there's hundreds and hundreds of examples of streamers paying maybe 1 or 2 mods that are more like personal assistants who also started as moderators. I mean, that's how it goes a lot of the times. Me, for example, Automated, he's a software engineer that I've hired, started as a mod who like made cool shit. And then I was like, hey, how about you make cool shit, but I pay you so you can do it for me all the time now. So I have to tell you about today's sponsor, me, in my chess boxing event that's happening December 11th in sunny Los Angeles, California. You can buy tickets to see this event live right now, or maybe you just want to watch it online, but either way,
Ludwig and his events, dude.
20 of the biggest creators in the world, all literally punching each other in the face and then playing chess until they knock each other out or win by checkmate. And big news! We have a huge Black Friday sale that's going on right now for 10% off tickets. That's $50 if you're getting the VIP pass, so get it now. And if you're in the area, or perhaps you just want to go to a cool event, then check out the tickets right here. Come see me live. Come have fun and hang out. All right, back to the video. And that spawns a lot of the time. There's a lot of cool examples of this. Like I've had a few mods who find a bunch of videos for me to react to. Miskif has a mod, Wajito, who's an absolute godsend. I believe he got hired. Yeah, he got hired by OTK, but he found every single person who was scammed by Slicker and double and triple checked their identity to make sure they were actually scammed, to find how much they were scammed so we could get them paid back and also not get scammed ourselves. So huge shout out to that guy. Soda Poppins had a mod who will find indie games for him to play. That's been happening for a decade. And honestly, it's cool. Part of that feeling of making sure you ride with the ones that got you there. Making sure that
that's
everybody
exactly how I look at it.
Feels amazing, and it's why I started paying my mods. I mean, the first time I ever did it was after the subathon, because they were doing a lot of work during the modcast. I mean, basically 1/3 of the subathon was my mods talking. So I paid them all like what I thought was fair. Ended up being like, I think $12K for 17 people, something like that, maybe 13K, and it literally paid off the student debt of the people who were there and supporting me. And when I switched over to YouTube, I got a big enough bag that I thought, hey, it is stupid to not include those people who helped me out in my come up by paying them. But this is not a jerk off for me and what I'm doing. Let's look at some of the other people. And remember, mods aren't always getting the best rap. I'm talking really highly of them, but they're also internet janitors, and they can sometimes be abusive of their power. It doesn't help that this clip exists.
I'm very surprised that it fit perfectly in the dimensions, because I just like eyeballed it.
Yo, nailed it.
Nailed it. Show banner? Okay.
Ooh, that stinks, Rance.
Yeah.
Damn, chat's being mean to you.
Oh, I don't care. I'm a mod. I don't give a shit what they say.
I mean, that just doesn't make any sense.
That's cringe.
It's like saying, oh my god.
But I'm a mod. I'm a mod here, guys. I don't care what you say. You should care. If you're a mod, you should care what the chat fucking says, dude. You really should. Like, that's the community you represent. If they all think you're a fuck, like, dude, like, you gotta figure out why they think you're a fuck. Like, that's how I look at that.
Don't touch that. It could be full of bacteria. And then saying, that's okay, I'm immunocompromised. It's not, it doesn't make sense. But that clip aside, there's also times where mods maybe aren't the best. And here's a clip from Kai talking about a one maybe rotten mod.
No reason, and I requested an appeal, and your mod responded to this. Cash App $3 to # secluded and add your Twitch username and for an unban. Now look.
Bro, I would fucking unmod you so fucking fast your head would spin. If I heard, dude, oh my god. If a motherfucker did that, I swear to God, you clip this shit, dude. I swear to God, if somebody ever tells you to pay them for an unban, yo, we got some problems. We got some problems. Ain't no pay to win in this motherfucker. Fuck that shit.
Look, now look. I don't give a fuck if it's a joke. Yo. I don't give a fuck if it's a fucking joke. I don't give a fuck what it is, and he's not the only one. Bro, I don't give a secluded. You're laughing, bro. Like I'm genuinely not laughing. If shit is so funny, bro, I would just wipe all y'all niggas out right now, bro.
And then he went on to say how, well, you know, it's not a joke, and spent 15 minutes reprimanding that mod. But I think this is my argument on why some of the biggest streamers should pay their mods. I think anytime someone's doing a good job at something, you want them to keep doing that. And you also want them to like feel happy and
reward good behavior
doing that. I think the moment you become a moderator, the experience of going into someone's chat drops by like 50%.
Yes, I completely agree with that. And as a mod of many different streams, I will say there is nothing worse than showing my fucking face and then you tell me to do something as a mod, like instantly. And if I've done that to you, I'm sorry. But also, I make sure before I ever mod people that like, hey, I'm gonna make you a mod. This means you have more responsibilities. Do you understand this? Not me fucking logging into a chat, seeing a sword next to my name just because I've been streaming for a long time and people think, oh, he'd be a good mod. I don't want to be your mod. I don't. In most streams, I do not want to be your mod. Some of the streams that I'm in, yes, I enjoy being a mod in them because I never have to do mod shit. When I see things that I could do as a mod, I do them. It's the random, so like that's the thing. I don't know if he gets into this, but if you were never asked to be a mod and you just randomly had the sword one day and then you're supposed to accept this responsibility, fuck that streamer. I don't think I've ever done that to anybody. I don't think I've ever surprise modded anybody. I've told people, hey, you either won from a vote because people voted who they wanted to be a mod, who they thought would be a good mod, and then 2, I've approached you and been like, hey, I'm gonna mod you. Are you cool with that? These are the basic things I expect from a mod. I'm not saying you have to be here every day. I'm not saying I expect you to do this religiously. If there's other mods, they should be helping. It shouldn't just be one mod doing all the commands. But if you're just some random, if I'm just some random dude who ended up with a green sword in your chat one day and you're telling me what to do, sir, go fuck yourself. I'm logging out of your chat. To be fair, I will do the thing, but then I'm out. I hope whatever I did for you made you happy, but you've lost a viewer for the day. Because I'm not logging into that. Also, like, I can probably say that sometimes you see streamers live, some of which you are a mod in, some of which you are not, and sometimes you might think to yourself, I actually want to go where I'm not a mod because I have less expectations, which is totally reasonable. Depending how often you're doing it. If you're doing it for like months at a time, then you don't really deserve your sword in the other chat, in my opinion. That's how I see it.
I know people like to talk about the power that mods have. Sure, they can ban some people, and then they can spam an emoji or a W when something cool happens. But that's about it. The rest of it is fucking annoying. It's a thankless job to do a bunch of fucking work when you'd rather just have it on the TV. I've sat in a chat before as a moderator, which I once upon a time was, and then saw some shit, and I had to get my ass up to ban out someone who's just spamming the N-word. That's not fun. All right, it's a very thankless job, and so I think paying people to do it usually makes them better at that job. But let's take a look at some of the arguments from some other streamers.
Hey, do you pay your mods?
No. Do you?
No. Like, but I wanna tell me why one of my mods asked me to ask you that. Stupid dumbass dickheads. Y'all niggas is voluntary to do shit for free. The fuck?
It's not about doing it for free. It's about I don't want it to become weird where listen, there are certain creative reasons. Like it wouldn't be that much of a setback to pay them, right? But if it became like weird and shit, it can be dramatic. It can become dramatic.
Okay, so quick translation. He's saying it wouldn't set him back. He has enough money to pay them that it wouldn't affect his bottom line, but it would create a weird dynamic. Which, if I'm playing devil's advocate to myself and my own arguments of why I think the top 0.001% should pay their mods, it does create a somewhat of a weird dynamic.
I could see that. But again, I think somebody at the caliber of XQC should be paying his mods. Or at least the most important ones. The most active, the most like vitriolic ones that are able to deal with the bullshit. Because in a stream that big, he's dealing with a lot of bullshit as like a very active mod. But like that being said, if there's that motherfucker who's in your chat every single day doing things consistently, making clips for you, organizing shit, setting off polls, whatever, anything like that creates viewer engagement and making it so it's less things that you have to do, that motherfucker deserves a paycheck. Not a paycheck, but they deserve a little bit of the cut. And again, I'm not saying motherfuckers should get like 50% or any shit like that. Hell no. But like, they should get like a little like, hey, you know, it's like a tip, dude. It's literally like a tip. That's how I look at it. It's like a tip. Thanks for your help.
For a few reasons. One, it will be very hard after you start paying mods to get any new mods. Because the mods who start to sign up to the job from the passion of it are usually more honest and better mods than ones who would do it because there's money to get. That's one problem. The second problem, at least one that I've run into, is the way I pay my mods is all equally. There's not like a way to track them, and I'm not trying to be like Amazon making payments for every single timeout. All right, we're gonna have police bounties, and then all of a sudden bans are gonna go through the roof.
Yeah.
So I just pay them equally. Which after
That's what
a
I
few
did.
months, I
Yep.
realized that there were like a few mods who hadn't even been in my stream,
Yup.
didn't even watch me anymore for like 8 months. That were still getting paid as much as the person who's in there every single day.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
which I
Yeah.
thought was kind of unfair. You know, they didn't come forward because they were collecting a check. Whatever, I get it. But that's not a fun conversation to have. Problem number 2. And then I think the final issue with paying mods is it does create a little bit of a weird dynamic because the way I pay them is through donos. So it's like they're incentivized for more donations to happen. You know, more TTS, more whatever. So even figuring out how to pay them is a pain in its own right. But I think the advantages are way better. Honestly, there are only 3 good reasons to pay mods. 1, it feels good to ride with the ones that got you there. 2, they're
Yes, sir.
usually doing enough work that it is deserving of pay
Yes,
outside
sir.
of the culture of we just don't pay them because usually streamers can't afford to do it. And 3, you probably have the income to do it without it really impacting anything. So why not? Those are really the only 3 reasons, and if all 3 are applicable.
I will say, every year that I paid everybody like $50, yeah, that I wasn't like making fucking bank most years. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, that was definitely something I couldn't buy. But I was cool with that because it was my way of saying thank you.
To you, then maybe the question is why not? What are the reasons after that you wouldn't do it? This is Kai's reason.
What makes you think I'm gonna pay, nigga? Fuck! Yo, I can go to my first VOD, nigga, and if I say, yo, who needs a mod? Yo, who wants a mod? I bet the fucking bottom dollar that you was like,
Me! Stop!
I wanna be a mod!
You asked me to be a mod!
I wanna be a mod!
You asked me to be a mod!
People do often make the argument that for every mod that would leave because they're not getting paid, there's another to fill its place. There's probably 5. But usually it's lower quality, you know.
What is this? We're watching a video on should Twitch streamers pay their moderators. We've been discussing it too. I try not to just sit here and watch a video. I try to like just pause it and talk about certain points here and there. Let me listen to this guy. All right.
The mods that are there longer are oftentimes better, more entrenched in the community, and more able to parse through what makes chat good or not good. But yeah, the answer probably is there are people to replace them. So you don't have to. I mean, you could very easily get away with not doing it, and nobody would bat an eye. Because I also have to admit, I'm in a spot that very, very few are in. I mean, shit, look what Tyler said.
Yo, Ludwig's mod pays his mod 1K per day. Kind of interesting, no?
It's not true.
Hey,
Not
Stone
less
Rocks.
than that.
Type another stupid-ass comment like that, and you will not only lose your mod, you'll lose your chat privileges. But I'm not Ludwig. Hey, let me make that real clear.
Bid new, stay new, Tyler. All right, but that's it. That's it. That's the whole video. What do you think? What do you think? Has your perspective changed at all?
Nope.
It's the same. Still don't do it. Okay. Fair
No,
enough.
I
Fair
definitely
enough.
still
Thought I'd
say
maybe
yes.
Change some minds. Oh, what's that shirt you've been wearing all stream, Ludwig? You might be asking yourself. You can get it if you come to the chess boxing event live in LA. We'll have exclusive Ludwig Mogul chess boxing merch. It won't look exactly like this because
Yeah, I think it depends how much money you're making. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was saying that over the years, generally every year I've paid like $50 every year at the end of the year for Christmas to all my mods each. I'm like, based on how much I make, like, you know, that's a pretty decent, it's a decent amount. But this is my, this is actually my first year of no mods. And it's nothing personal against any of the old mods. It's just, I feel like I've got control over the chat at this point. I don't need to rely on anybody. And like, because I do pay at the end of the year, I don't want to feel like I have to. Because anybody that would be a mod has probably already been a mod and they would know. And it's an expectation that I've set. I wanted to share it with you guys. If you like the video, go toss it a like.